This is one of my all-time favorite hip opening sequences. I come back to it all the time. I know that you're gonna love it. All you're gonna need is a block if you have one. If you don't have one, you can also use kind of like a firm pillow that you're gonna roll up or fold over. Whatever you have, just have it ready to the side. We're gonna begin now lying down on our backs. How good. Who doesn't love starting there? So just make yourself comfortable in Shavasana, which is corpse pose. So turn the palms to face up at the ceiling. Let your feet roll out. Just really relax here and just lift your hips and tuck your tailbone so that the lower back is long, so that your lumbar spine is decompressing by pulling your hips into this posterior pelvic tilt. And just open up through the chest here. Eyes are closed. You can even do the same thing with your shoulder blades. You kind of walk them together and against the floor they get held and pulled into this opening position. Tuck the chin, back of the neck is long. We're going to close the eyes if they're not closed already. And we're just going to stay here and breathe for a second. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose and a full breath out through the mouth. So let's do that again. Inhale. Hold the breath. Open the mouth. Exhale like a sigh. One more time. Inhale. Take the breath all the way in. Open the mouth. Exhale. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to open up the hips here. And some of these things are going to challenge you. I just want you to set an intention quickly for this particular hip opening quickie, that you're going to just allow the sensations to come up, and without reacting, without being frustrated or needing to move or needing to go deeper, you're just going to surrender into it. And you'll know more what I mean when we're through this practice. We're going through this. So bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. They're hip distance apart. You're going to roll your hips off the floor so that you can bring the block to your sacrum, which is basically the lower back, but further down, closer to the hips. Okay, so if you don't have the block, you can also use that cushion, as I said. And we just want to then slowly bring the hips back down to rest on the block. Okay, now from here, we're going to keep the right leg down on the floor, the right foot down on the floor, hug the left knee into the chest. Okay, do so slowly, and then go ahead and extend that right leg so that we feel a stretch and an opening into the front of the right hip. And this takes a little bit of time to kind of get the right balance, particularly if you're using a block. But when you are in it, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is going to start to lengthen out that hip flexor, particularly through the psoas and any of the hip flexor muscles there. So just the thing with this particular position is that we need to get heavy here. And what you can also do is play with the positioning of the left leg. So if the knee is hugging directly into the chest, you may not feel it as strongly when you compare it to hugging the knee out to the side and then into the side chest, or at least the left side of you. Perfect. So we're just going to hang here for another deep breath in and a full breath out. Good. Place both feet back onto the floor. Lift the hips, remove the block. Okay, now we're going to straighten out the legs and hug the right knee into the chest. And we're just going to hug it in for what's called Pavan Muktasana, which is just also translates to wind removing pose. So it's massaging our ascending colon here, but it's also stretching into the back of the hip, back of the leg for some of us. And then from there, keep the right leg in. Bend the left knee, place the left foot on the floor, and just bring your right ankle underneath your left knee. And then from there, you're going to take your right hand and push the right knee away from you. Good. Now, if all of this feels a little bit too tight, you can also lift your head using the block or a pillow to just give your head a little bit more support here. Up to you. And then from there, we're going to thread the needle. So I'm taking my right hand in between my legs. I'm going to grab hold of my left shin and pull that knee in towards my chest. And I should start to feel a stretch for the hip. Beautiful. Again, if you find that you're straining through the neck, this is a good time to place the block underneath you, underneath your head. And we're just going to take a deep breath in here. And I want you to come back to that sense of surrender here. So where are you holding tension? And I don't just mean where are you feeling tension, but where are you actually kind of gripping? Is your jaw tense, your neck, your face? Like, relax your eyes. Beautiful. Place that foot back onto the floor, but keep the right leg exactly where it is. We're going to come up onto the hands now. So just get yourself there. It doesn't have to look beautiful, but just make your way up to your hands here. And you'll notice that the more that you lift the chest, the stronger you're going to feel that stretch on the right hip. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the chest towards the front right shin, and then exhale. Maybe if it's available to you, you're going to like round your head. So you're just going to round your upper body, relax your jaw, folding into this. Good. Take a deep breath in and release a full breath out. Good. Lifting the head as you inhale. We're going to release that right foot from where it is, and we're going to come into pigeon on the right side. So swing your body over to the side, shoot that left leg back, and again, we may want to place the block underneath the hips. Depends on your level of flexibility today or right now. So make your adjustments as you need to, but just find yourself in your deepest, but also a pigeon that enables you to relax your jaw, to relax your face, relax your body. And we're going to fold the body down, and from here I want you to thread your left arm through to the right side here, and then just rest your head onto your right hand. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Release a full breath out. Take a deep breath in and release a full breath out. Good. Lift your body. Shift your weight over to the right side. Bring that back left leg around in front. And we're going to turn out the left leg as though we were going to sit in pigeon. But then we're going to come into the quad stretch. So what I'm doing is bending my right knee, shifting the weight over to the left side to do so, tucking my foot beside my hip. And then from here, we're going to lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, and let the body come down towards the floor. Now, for some of you, this is going to be super intense just to sort of stay upright. Some of you are going to find it more intense to get down to the elbows. If at all you feel that right knee pop off the floor or your back starts to arch too much, you've gone too far. So we just want to find that happy medium. Now, some of you are going to be like, Shona, I feel this more in my foot. I don't know what you're talking about. Hip opening. All I feel is my quads screaming at me, and that's okay. I mean, back out of it slightly if that's the case. But all of our bodies are connected. So all of this is impacting your mobility, even right up into your hips. So allow this sensation, or the different sensations you're experiencing, back out slightly if you cannot relax or if you're holding your breath. But just try to hold here and release and relax into it as much as you can. If you feel like you can go deeper, come all the way to the floor. If you want to go even deeper, you can hug the left knee into the chest. We're going to take one more breath here, and to come out of it, we're rolling onto our left side, kicking that right leg out, coming onto our back, hugging the knees into the chest, and moving back into Shavasana. Okay, take a deep breath in, take a full breath out. Okay, we're going to do a little test between the left and the right side. So I want you to pick up that right leg, bend it in towards your chest without touching it, and put it back down. Okay, and now pick up the left side. Okay, pick up the right, pick up the left. Are you feeling any sort of sensation changes? A lot of the time when I do this sequence and when I teach this sequence in my classes, people are blown away by the instant changes that they feel in their flexibility. And that's because our flexibility has a lot more to do with our nervous system and our stretch tolerance than it does necessarily to do with the tissue changing. So just know that every day when you work at your flexibility, particularly your passive and dynamic combination type stretches, every small amount is contributing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other side. Remember, we're going to go all the way back into our hip flexor stretch. So place your feet flat on the floor, grab your block, lift your hips, place the block underneath you. That left leg is going to come out straight, and the right knee is going to bend in towards your chest. Maybe it's going to go out to the right a little bit, whatever works for you, but just lengthening out. Take a deep breath in, full breath out, surrendering here. Maybe if you need to, making adjustments accordingly to wherever you're feeling the best kind of stretch in this position. And some of you might be like, I can't feel a thing. And maybe that's because there's no tightness or tightness sensation in your hip flexors or your psoas. So maybe you're okay. Alrighty, let's release it there. Place the feet onto the floor, lift the hips, move the block out of the way. Now we're just going to hug that left knee into the chest, right leg goes out. So compressing, descending colon now, stomach, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face, the jaw, everything, and melting into this position. Pavan Muktasana. Good. And then from here, bend the right knee, place the right foot on the floor, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and use your left hand to push the knee away from you to create a little bit of space in the hip joint on that left side. Grab your pillow or your cushion if you want to place it underneath your head as we move into our thread the needle pose. So grabbing hold of the shin, pull it in towards your chest. Notice where you're straining. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face, your eyes. Everything softens here. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Okay, use your hands to push yourself up. And we're going to get as long as we can. The further away that left leg is from your body, the easier this stretch is going to be. So the closer you bring it and the more you can lengthen and become as upright as possible in your chest, the stronger this will be. Fold your head down if it's available to you and breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Lift the head. Now we're going to move into pigeon. So bring that left leg down. We'll shift our weight over to the side, shoot that right leg back, shifting the weight as you need to, maybe block underneath the left hip to keep you square. Come into the deepest variation that you can handle while still being able to maintain a sense of softness, a sense of relaxation here. And we're going to thread that right arm through, turning the upper body so we put a little bit more intensity into our left hip stretch, head just resting onto the side here, and just breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Alrighty, lift your body. Good. From here, shift the weight over to the side. We're going to come into that quad stretch on the left side. So we need to shift all the way over to the left side first, bring the right leg around in front, almost like we're going to do sit cross-legged. We bring that right leg in front, but then we shift all our weight over to the side, tuck that left foot in. Lift the hips, tuck the tailbone. This is super important. We don't want a big arch in the back, and then allow yourself to come down accordingly to the floor. Beautiful. When you're ready, all the way down, if that's available to you. Remember, with repetition, that will become available to you. But it has to be consistent. Things do have to get harder over time. But I guarantee if you come back to this sequence, you are going to see huge changes to your mobility and your flexibility. Keep your eyes closed. Relax your body, relax your jaw. Take a deep breath in, see if you can deepen this stretch. Okay. And then we'll release. Roll yourself over onto your right side, kick the leg out, hug the knees into the chest as you rock from side to side, massaging out through the lower back a little bit here. Place your feet flat onto the floor. We're just going to do 20 hip lifts, so just glute bridges, arms by your side, just wake those muscles up again. Press into the feet, let's go. Lifting the hips, lowering down. Just count 20 to yourself. Really try to keep that tailbone tucked. Remember, when we encourage mobility and flexibility, we actually exercise better. So our weightlifting, our weight training, every other activity that we do gets better. So maybe you're noticing you're able to move into this posterior pelvic tilt, maybe activate your glutes better when you're in this position. Good. Once you've done your 20, that's it for you. You can bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees rest out wide, palms face up at the ceiling, closing your eyes, just stretching into the groin a little. Take the hands down to the thighs, hug the knees into the chest, and then we'll rock up to a seated position. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope your hips feel amazing. Go and squat, go and try some things. I mean, no heavy squatting, but go and move your body and see how much better it feels right now. I'll see you on the mat soon.